Hey guys, today I'm going to do a get ready with me, even though I'm mostly already kind of ready. I'm just going to do eyeshadow while I talk about what I'm not going to buy in 2024 because I'm going to do a bit of a low buy, no buy, but I'm kind of setting in some rules or things that I just don't want to buy anymore. It's almost like I'm setting in some parameters of things that where I won't venture into. You'll see what I mean. It's just things that I'm not going to buy anymore, brands that I'm not going to buy from, things that I've come to realize that I don't need and I don't need to purchase or spend my money on. So I'm just going to do some eyeshadow and let's just get into it. Let's just get into it because I ramble too much. Would you guys be interested in seeing like beauty hauls and things like that? I don't want to go too much into beauty like I said before. But I have been really into skincare and beauty. I finally ordered a Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette. Like, I've really avoided expensive makeup like that. But I caved those sales. And I always see Veronica says talking about them, and I want to be cool and have really, really fancy eyeshadows. Actually, I've never tried those eyeshadows. I just really wanted to try them. And those things are not cheap. Oh my goodness. Anyways, things I'm not gonna buy in 2024. And these are not even just 2024. This is just what I'm not gonna buy almost anymore. Things that I'm done doing. As of 2023, I'm done doing these things. So one of the things that I'm done doing is buying new releases just because they're new releases. I have a bad habit of doing this. And I mean, who doesn't? It's new and exciting. It sounds amazing. And I mean that more when it comes to designer brands, to be honest. When it comes to designer brands, they are constantly putting out new things. And I just don't think that they're getting it, you know? Like, for example, the new Burberry, it wasn't great. The new Valentinos haven't been great. Even like the new Lancome ones, like Lancome is one of my favorite designer brands. I'm just not feeling their new releases. They have their good, amazing classics, and I love them. I love Lancome fragrances. I just don't think that the new things that they're coming out with are very impressive. I think that they're just exciting because they're new. The only company that I feel, well, obviously like niche brands, I feel are putting more effort into their new releases. I think they're trying a little bit harder. And then the only brand that is kind of an exception to this is Kayali. I don't know if is Kayali designer or niche, but I mean more for new designers I'm not going to buy, like new release designers. I'm not going to buy them unless I were to smell them, but I'm not going to blind buy them just because they're new. I'm not going to fall into the hype of something new. And I mean Kayali and other niche brands. They're trying to come up with something new and exciting. And I don't think designers are trying that hard. I think they know that some people have that brand loyalty and they're just going to buy it because it's new, or they're mostly just doing like new flankers so people know that somebody's collecting all the black opiums or Carolina Herrera high heel bottles, you know, because the bottles are cute. So they'll just come up with a new one because they know you're going to buy it because you want all the high heels or things like that, even though they're just not that exciting. That's just my opinion. This video is going to be a little bit negative. If you're sensitive to negative videos, I suggest that you mute it. Still watch it, but mute it because you're going to be triggered because all of it is negative, you know. Is it negative? No, it's just my boundaries when it comes to purchasing, okay? So it's not negative to me. So like I said, I'm just not going to buy perfumes because they're new. I'm going to buy them if I go smell them. And if I go smell them and I fall in love with it, I could buy it. But I'm not going to buy it simply because it's new. Does that make sense? Because I was doing that before. I'd just be like, oh, well, I mean, it's a new release. I got to get it. I was very tempted by Ellis Brooklyn Apple because I really like a crisp apple fragrance. And I had some issues with the Kayali Eat and Juicy Apple. And then I also was very, very tempted with the new Kayali one, the lychee one. But it had some notes in there that I don't love, like jasmine sambac and I think some musk. Jasmine sambac, I can't really do it. It's a similar jasmine to the one in Alien. It's one of those notes where for me it's very powerful, so I only need like one fragrance that has that, one or two, and then I don't want any more. So I don't want any more perfumes with jasmine sambac. I did not buy that, and if I smell it and I love it, then I'll get it. There is a few brands that I'm just not going to buy them. I'm not even going to go smell them. I'm not going to I'm just not going to invest any time into these brands. There's only like 3 or 4. And there's nothing against those brands. It's just generally I don't gravitate towards their types of perfumes. So I don't even want to bother. They don't have things that I typically enjoy. So there's no reason to go and even like do any research or look into it when I know that chances are I won't like it. And then, like I said, if I happen to smell it and it's absolutely amazing, I'm not against getting it, but I doubt that I'll be interested. I don't need to go keep trying, you know? And the brands are, first of all, it's Valentino. I think I'm done with Valentino fragrances. I have Donna Born in Roma, just the original. I think that's it. I don't think I want any more. A lot of their perfumes have so much ISO E-Super. So it's really risky, and even though sometimes I don't smell ISO E-Super right off the bat in a perfume, it comes up like within a couple minutes or sometimes just in the dry down. And then, oh my gosh, it's so strong and overpowering and kind of disgusting. It's in a lot of men's Valentino fragrances. I think almost all of them in that studded bottle. That bottle is gorgeous, but no, I'm done with any of their perfumes. It would require so much testing and like testing of like not even just smelling it, you know, like letting it dry down and all that. And for now, I'm just gonna avoid having that issue. I mean, now that we're on the ISO E-Super subject, there's 3 niche brands that have way too much ISO E-Super that really overdo it, that I haven't already purchased. I've already been not purchasing from them for a while, but I can just tell you guys, if you're sensitive to ISO E-Super, Commodity uses a lot of it. Tiziana Terenzi uses a lot of aroma chemicals, and it's so potent, so strong and overpowering, their fragrances. So Tiziana Terenzi and also Navitus. I stopped buying from Navitus a long time ago, and it looks like other people are starting to realize now. They use ISO E-Super. So does Valentino. So do other niche brands. I don't know that that's a crappy ingredient. I just know that it's an ingredient not even to enhance the perfume. It's just simply to... It is to enhance it, but it's like not part of the notes, because they put ISO E-Super in a gourmand, in a floral, in anything just to like enhance it. And even in vanillas, they just put it to enhance it, and it's not part of the fragrance. Some people don't pick it up. Some people are anosmic to it. They're lucky that they're anosmic to it. But what you don't understand, what people that are anosmic to ISO E-Super don't understand, is that people around you may not be anosmic. So if you're overspraying this beautiful light and airy or floral perfume, to you it smells like that, and to another person the ISO E-Super can be like attacking them. And I know, because that's how I feel every time I go out. I swear most of the men's colognes now have ISO E-Super, so to me everybody just smells like ISO E-Super. Like, nobody smells interesting. Nobody smells even like fresh or clean or anything like that. I get so much ISO E-Super, which is sad. I feel like I used to smell people. I used to smell men out there smelling woody, some smelling fresh and clean, some smelling citrusy and green and things like that. I used to smell those things out in the world, and it's pleasant. I like smelling nice smells on people, and now all I smell is ISO E-Super. So something's up with that. I know somebody has explained it, why they do that, whatever. To me, it's just like a filler. It's just like an enhancer, and I'd rather have my actual fragrance smell good versus it just smelling mediocre and then adding something in there to like spice it up. That's just me though. But Navitus just overdoes the ISO E-Super, and I'm not purchasing from any of those 3 niche brands. Sorry for my rant. The other 2 designer brands, I make no sense, huh? Oh my gosh, this video makes no sense. The other 2 designer brands that I'm not going to buy from is Versace. I don't think I own any Versace perfumes, and I've had pretty bad experiences with all of the Versaces that I've had. So I always have an issue with them, so no Versaces. I'm not interested in Versace perfumes, no. And the other one is Dolce & Gabbana. I never really have any... I don't have any issue with Dolce & Gabbanas, but I'm never drawn to them. They're never very nice. I have one of the light blues of Flinker that has a little bit of cotton candy in it, so that's kind of nice. But once I finish that up, that's it. I don't think I'm gonna get any more Dolce & Gabbana perfumes. I smell Devotion, and it smells kind of nice. So who knows, maybe down the road. But it didn't smell like, oh my gosh, delicious, intoxicating or anything, but it smells kind of nice so far. But no, I don't like any of those. I even tried like the Pour Femme, and it was a no for me. So no Dolce & Gabbana, no Versace, and no Valentino. And then the other thing I'm not going to buy in 2024 is any perfume that has a deal breaker note for me. Just like how I said about Jasmine Sandbag is a deal breaker note for me. White Musk. That doesn't mean that I can't love a fragrance that has those notes, because I do have a good 4 or 5 perfumes that are amazing that have white musk in it. But the majority of perfumes, maybe 95% of the time that a perfume has white musk, I will not like it. I will not enjoy it. I will have an issue with it. So there's no sense in me buying perfumes that have deal breaker notes for me personally, unless I were to smell them and fall in love with them. You know what I mean? So also just not even gonna bother anything that has, and I almost bought the lychee one, but I saw it had Jasmine Sandbag and I was like, no, why would I get it if it has Jasmine Sandbag? Chances of me having an issue with it are high, so I'm not gonna put my money at risk, right? And then I'll just have to like get rid of it or sell it, and you know you never make your money back. So I'm just not gonna waste any time with any perfume that has a deal breaker note for me personally. And that's gonna greatly hopefully reduce any blind buy fails. Another thing I'm gonna really try to reduce in my collection, and so I won't purchase in 2024, is the redundancy of some perfumes. So if a new perfume comes out and the majority of people are saying, oh, this perfume smells like this other thing, which happens a lot, I'm not gonna get it if I already have the other thing that it smells like, because I need to reduce a lot of redundancy in my collection, because my collection is too big to have so much overlap, because I already don't get enough wear out of the ones that I love. And when you have 2 perfumes that are very similar, there's always one you love a little bit more. So when you wear the lesser one, you're taking time from the other one when you're in that kind of mood, and it's just wasteful. Like I said, when you have a collection the size of my collection, it's not worth it to have the redundancy. There's a lot of perfumes where you only wear on certain occasions. So like I said, when you have 2 that are very similar, you're gonna end up not wearing one of them. And the other thing that's related to this is I'm gonna try really hard not to buy dupes. But let me explain. So the thing with dupes, the thing that I have with dupes is that I'll buy the dupe of something, and then if I really like it, I'll a lot of times end up buying the real thing. And then I end up with 2 for no good reason. And sometimes I buy the original first, and then I end up getting a dupe of it because somebody says, oh, this is a dupe for that, but a little bit more berry, or this is a dupe for that, but even sweeter. So I'm like, oh, if I already love this, I want a sweeter version of it. Oh, if I already love this, then I know I'll love that. And then I'll have these 2 perfumes that I love. And that was my mindset before, which created so much redundancy. Like recently there was this perfume I wanted. It was a Middle Eastern one that a lot of people said it smelled kind of like Oriana. And I already have Oriana. And I almost got it though, because they said, oh, it's kind of similar, but it has a little bit more of this or something like that. And I was like, that sounds really good, and I wanted it, but I already have Oriana. And I wear Oriana like 2-3 times a year. I love it, but I only wear it so much, you know? It's not an everyday reach for me. So I tend to do that a lot. I tend to have a lot of overlap. Like I bought, what's that one, Modest Dew, when I have La Nuit Trésor by Lancôme. And I have both of them, and I love both of them, but I have a lot of redundancy. Another thing that I'm going to try to do, and this is something I'm going to try to do, not avoid, is to consider if there is a perfume that I fall in love with, and like I already know that I love it and I want it, I'm gonna consider actually getting the original first before I get the dupe. And that's to avoid that issue. You know what I mean? Like, if I love this fragrance so much, am I willing to spend the money on it? Because a lot of times when I get the dupe, then I'll want the original. So I end up spending money twice on the same scent profile. So what I'm going to try to do is consider getting the original first. And if I want it that much to get the original, then I don't need the dupe, and then I save the money, because chances are if I get the dupe, I might still want the original. And that's just how my mind works. My mind is like, if this dupe is so good, the original is probably better. I have this little like hoarder voice in my mind that tells me these things. So that's what it tells me, like, oh, if you like this dupe, the original is probably even better. Another thing, and this is kind of a hard one for me, is I'm gonna try not to buy backups unless the perfume that I'm buying a backup for is discontinued and it's in my top 10 of all time, and it's discontinued and I come across one, or I want to buy a backup of a discontinued fragrance that's in my top 10. If both of those don't apply, then I will not be getting a backup. And I think I probably have a backup of all of my like top of all the perfumes in my top 20 that are discontinued. So I really don't think that I need any backups. You know, like there's a bunch of perfumes that are in my top 20 that are not discontinued, that are still around. So I don't need backups of those because I know that I can always access them if I finish them, which I probably won't for another good 4 or 5 years, maybe. So I probably won't even need the backups that I do have backed up. But that's another story. I got suckered into buying Moondust by Urban Decay Space Cowboy because this is super hyped up on TikTok, and I need to stay away from TikTok because this is what's been happening is I get suckered into lately I've been into like glitter top coats. Oh, I literally did the whole buying the dupe and then the original for this. I got the ColourPop dupe of Space Cowboy, which is ColourPop Ritz. It's like a glittery topper. And then I thought it was lovely. I love it. So I'm like, if that little voice, the little hoarder voice I just said, I was like, if this is this good, what if Space Cowboy's even better? Oh my goodness. So I bought it. And now I have both. So next time, I'm going to try to just get the original. This is why. Because I just end up spending more money. So another thing that I'm going to stop buying, I'm going to get closer. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this. So another thing that I'm going to stop buying is I'm going to really try to stop buying Bath and Body Works because I don't need any more. Unless something like amazing comes up that's like unique, I really don't need to be buying Bath and Body Works. Bath and Body Works gets me with their gourmands. So like I said, if an amazing gourmand comes up, I'll consider it, but I'm just not going to be like where that's a thing that I do regularly is go and get a bunch of Bath and Body Works because I only do it because they're cheap. Like that's what I tell myself. They're only $5. I always get them when they're like $5. So I tell myself they're only $5. But that doesn't mean I need it, you know? Just because it's $5 does not equal I need it. Those two things do not equal each other. This is one of those eyeshadows that you kind of have to be here to see how pretty it is. I don't think you'll be able to see that. So yeah, that's the last thing. No more Bath and Body Works unless I really want something, and then unless there's something new, because a lot of them, like this time I went to Bath and Body Works and I almost bought the new like Luminous, but it smells a lot like La Nuit Trésor or La Vie Belle, and I do love that scent, but do I need a body mist of it? No, because I have La Nuit Trésor and La Vie Belle. So unless something different enough comes up. But when you have as many perfumes as me, you don't need, like I said, you don't need body mists that also smell like the perfumes. Why? When you already have the perfume. So I would love to know what you're not going to buy in 2024, if you're setting any rules. And I would also like to know if you guys are interested in low buy type of content, like what I'm doing to avoid buying more, like my goals. And if you guys are interested in like topics like how to stop shopping so much, or how to just that type of content, like anti-hauls, is that, yeah, I mean like anti-hauls or things like that, where it's about anti-consumerism and not buying. I do have an anti-haul coming up, and then I also have a perfumes I dislike, like perfumes that people love that I don't like. And it's all trying to discourage myself and other people from buying more. So I don't know if those videos seem kind of negative, but you know, those videos kind of help me, especially like alcohols, like why you don't need to buy this new thing that came out, you know? But so let me know if you guys are interested in that kind of content, and let me know what perfumes or what rules or what your goals are in general for your collection. I know a lot of us are in this declutter mode. I know a lot of people that I've talked to are into decluttering and also trying to stop buying. So like I said, if you guys want to know how I'm going to do it or how I plan to have a successful low buy year, like things that I'm already setting into motion since now, let me know if you guys are interested in that. So anyways, that is my finished. I look kind of finished. I know it's not super fancy, but it's just a simple, nice little look. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Smiley face, party face, thirsty face, sexy face, selfie. Tú quieres verme selfie.